Hey everyone, Erica here of thefeelgoodshift.com. Gotta talk to you a little bit about this magical book that I read all the time. This is the Spanish version of The Alchemist. And apparently this is something that I bring up all the time. And I noticed it last night. I went out to dinner with some really awesome friends and I met a awesome new friend. And this always comes up for me. And it's a book that I read very often. I have it both in English and Spanish. And I find it really interesting because it speaks to really personal legends. And I love that it's like a story to follow your dreams. And it's so much of what I'm about. So I have to talk about this book. And if you're not part of the group Manifesting Powerhouses, make sure that you click on the link that's in this video. And I do a lot of trainings there as well. This book is everything. Like for me, this book has been transformational from the first time that I read it up until finishing, like I think my 13th read of this book because I think it's that valuable. Hi, Danica. So I'm sitting there and I really want you to understand that The Alchemist is like a story about a peasant boy. If you've never read it, I really recommend that you read it because it does everything. And they talk about personal legends and how everyone has a personal legend. The thing about personal legends is that a lot of people die without realizing it, without going in, right? It's so good. Without going in and really diving and fulfilling their purpose and their mission in life and really achieving their dreams. He literally has a dream that he's supposed to go to, yes, that is supposed to take him out to the pyramids. The thing is that he has his personal legend and he learns along the way a lot of things and he learns so much. My favorite part is when he meets the store owner, and the store owner also has a personal legend, and the store owner is all about Mecca, and his dream is all about going to Mecca and Mecca and everything else. So the protagonist in the story kind of tries to get the store owner to come along with him to go to Mecca and to realize his dream. And he's like, you know, I'm going to the pyramids. You should go to Mecca. It's just so meant for you to do, blah, blah, blah. So they start planning for the store owner to actually head out and go to Mecca with him and do everything that he's supposed to do. The thing is that eventually the store owner realizes that, hi, Lativia. Eventually the store owner realizes that he doesn't really want to go. He realizes that he doesn't really want to realize his dream of going to Mecca because if he realizes that dream, he won't have anything else to dream about. He thinks like this is the ultimate it. And he actually decides that he doesn't want to go and sends the alchemist on his way with many blessings along the way to realize his dream of going to the pyramids and find his treasure. The reason I bring this up and this one particular thing about Mecca and the store owner is because I meet a lot of people who are that, who always dream, like they live in the dream, like they're constantly living in the fantasy of what could be and dreaming of how to make things better, but they never do anything to realize it. And one of the big questions that I'm always asking, are you an alchemist ready to go out there and make your personal legend real and step into your destiny and make that a reality? Or are you more like the store owner who talks a lot about their dream, but does nothing to make it come true and does really nothing to step forward into like that power? It is so important that we own it. Like if you believe in your dreams, we have the options of either going out there and making it a reality and doing whatever it takes to meet our destiny and realize that desire and that vision and see that come true and materialize it. And a lot of what I teach is about manifesting. However, sometimes it just doesn't happen because people get caught in it's too hard, or I don't know how to make it happen, or whatever the stories may be, and all the things that get in the way of you realizing yourself and becoming the greatest version of you. As you're going in and you're thinking about all the things that are in the way between you and your dreams, please know that there's nothing in the way except you and your determination and your ability to be resourceful and make things happen. I have built my business on following my guidance, following my gut, really stepping into my discomfort. I posted a video earlier this week about the lobster, and the lobster's stimulus for growth is discomfort. The only way that a lobster grows a bigger shell is by becoming uncomfortable on the smaller shell. And I love that analogy because I think a lot of us are afraid to be uncomfortable. It's like the discomfort signals something in you that needs to be changed. It signals something that has to be bigger. In the story of the Alchemist, he goes through that. He realizes that he doesn't really want to be a herder, a goat herder, a sheep herder actually, that he actually wants to go out and be more and do more. So this whole thing needs to be about you stepping in and finding that discomfort. It's like, I don't really want to be a store clerk, or I don't really want to be a desk person. And that was my story. I went in and I was an accountant for a long time, and I had a desk job. And even though I left the corporate world to go towards the nonprofit, it still wasn't satisfying. Like, it was good for a while because it was a better situation emotionally for me, even though I did take a significant pay cut. But eventually I realized that I had more to give to the world than to sit behind a desk typing up numbers and managing budgets. So I really want you to think about where you are right now in your life, and think about where you're trying to go and what it is that you're trying to do. Because I can tell you right now, I have been building things slowly but surely, like the turtles and the hare. I have totally been the turtles. I have taken it slow and steady because I believe that that's my innate pace, and that's how I function best. Like, I don't want to go, long and hard and then burn out halfway through the process. Like, I've always been about savoring the process and savoring the journey. However, I have a very clear vision of where I'm going and the things that I want to do and what that's going to look like eventually, or at least how it's going to feel like when I get there. And I let that drive me every single day. Sometimes I do things that don't make sense because I'm following my guidance and I'm following my guides, and I'm really done arguing with them because they're right. And I have surrendered to whatever the guidance is and whatever is next for me. However, I am not a quitter, and I have gone through many challenges. And if someone tells you that they got to a place without help and they got to a place by sheer will, I would be a little cautious of that, because the reality is that we're human, and that we're going to encounter challenges. Like, things are going to feel uncomfortable, things are going to feel crappy, things are going to feel like, why am I even bothering with any of this stuff? Because it's hard. Because becoming the person that you are meant to be means letting go of the person that you currently are. And you have to change how you think, how you feel about things, and grow into the person that is fulfilling her personal destiny, her personal legend, her mission in life, whatever that may be for you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's worth the while to go out there and push yourself beyond your boundaries, to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and really get comfortable with discomfort. Every single day, yes, every single day. This is a daily commitment for me. Waking up, what can I do today that I didn't do yesterday? What can I do today that's differently? How can I change my perspective in a way that is supporting me and my goals and my dream and my vision? Because, as I always tell everyone, my biggest fear is regret. My biggest fear is being an old lady looking back at my life and thinking of all the things that I could have, should have, and would have done. Basically only if I would have had the courage. So every single time that I think about that, it just kind of makes me feel really uncomfortable. And it's like, I really don't want that to happen. I want to give it everything I got to realize everything that I can possibly be, do, and have. Because time waits for no one. Time is not waiting for you to make up your mind. Time is not waiting for you to decide that it's the right time. Time is not waiting. Time is passing us by every single day. And it's up to you what you make up with that time. It's like right now they say like you have the same 24 hours as Oprah and you have the same 24 hours as Beyonce and you have the same 24 hours. And it's up to you how you use that. I limit a lot of my interactions in social media. I limit a lot of times that I spend on tasks that are not pulling me forward and inspiring me in some way or another. I'm not different from you. It's not like I decided to build this overnight. This has taken a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears. And it's the work of my heart. And I feel like I would be betraying myself if I wasn't following it. I feel like I would be dishonoring the gifts that I have been giving is if I wasn't going into that whole thing. Social media can be really distracting, and I like being transparent because there was so much happening around the elections that I had to like pull myself completely away in order to find my ground and in order to find my center and to find my voice again, because I felt completely at a loss. So for me to continue on my mission, I have to limit the stuff that I'm exposing myself to because it's affecting my mental state. I can't afford to have something outside of me and my control affect me and how I'm moving forward in my life. So I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing. And while I am on social media right now, ironically, like I really want you to think about how much time you're spending on it. And if you're using it as a way to connect and expand, or if you're using it as a way to escape the reality that you have right now, that's going to feel so much better. Like if you just kind of numb yourself out, it kind of becomes a little bit of an addiction like alcohol and drugs and everything else. Because instead of facing the reality and acknowledging that this is not making me happy and I need to do something to change the situation one way or another, then I'm going to go check out and do something that's going to, like numb me out so I don't have to face this. The discomfort is what's going to promote the growth. So you feeling the discomfort of the life that you currently have, that's not satisfying, that's not making you happy, that is not anywhere near what you thought you wanted as a child or now, that's when you go in and you like, okay, let's feel this. What would be a better situation than this? And whatever comes to your mind, that's what you move towards. What would be a better situation than having that desk job was for me to be in charge of my time. And I have done everything to transition out of that so that I can be where I am right now. It's been 3 years since I left my desk job, and I don't look back on it at any point do I look back. And for a while when I had just left it, there was a lot of time when I was like, yeah, I'm going to like do this for a bit. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to go back to my desk job. And I had a mentor who called me out on that. She's like, you're not fully immersed in plan A because you're constantly thinking of plan B. Until plan A becomes the end all and be all, and you're not thinking about going back and getting a desk job, you're not fully committed to the work that you're doing. And it blew me away because I was like, oh, she's like, as long as you're thinking that if worst case scenario, you go back to your desk job, you're not thinking about, I'm going to make this absolutely happen no matter what. And it took me to take that in and realize like, I'm selling myself short. Because I'm like, oh, I'm going to dabble in this for a bit. And if it doesn't work out, then at least I have a backup plan. So I burnt the backup plan. I was like, well, I guess we're not doing that. I guess we're moving forward and we're only going to stick to plan A. And it might be, like I've said before, you may have heard me say this before, but it's like plan A.1, plan A.2, plan A.3, but there's no plan B. It's still the same vision. I might take little shortcuts and routes and maybe a little detour here and there, but it's the same map, it's the same plan, it's the same goal, it's the same vision. This guy went through hell and back to fulfill his destiny, but when he gets there, he realizes something very special. And I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't read the book, because it's really worth a while. I feel honored that I get to read it in Spanish, which is my first language, and that I get to read it in a way that I feel Paulo Coelho intended it to, for it to be read. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter the language. I feel like what matters is the story, and hence why this is a classic. I wanted to come in and talk to you about it, because this comes up very often when I'm having conversations with people, with clients, with friends, with whomever, because personal legends, everyone has one. It's your mission here on earth. It's what your destiny is. It's what your dreams are pulling you towards. It's that absolute most amazing life that is meant for you and you only, because there's only one of you. There's only going to be one of you for the rest of eternity. There's only going to be one of you. One incarnation with this vibrational signature that you currently have. There's only one. So what are you going to do with that? How are you going to make your legend? How are you going to leave a legacy behind that has your name and your signature, your energetic blueprint written all over it, that no one else could have done except you? Because you decided to say yes to yourself, and you decided to say boldly into your power, and you decided to cut out the BS and cut out the plan A and step forward and go forward and move forward. A lot of the work that I do, as you know, is, thank you, baby. Mwah. A lot of the work that I do, you know, it's all about spirituality. A lot of the work that I do is connecting you to your higher self, because the only way that you're going to navigate that map effectively is by you knowing true and true, balls to bones, what that is for you. And until you're letting everyone else come into your head and everything else come into your head, you're never going to know what your truth is, and you're never going to be able to step boldly into that with enough conviction to not let anything get in the way between you and your vision. So I think that's all I have for you. If you have questions while you still have me live, feel free to comment. Or if you have any comments that you want me to like chime in on, feel free to comment. Thank you, Danica, for your input. This is kind of like all life is. It's you stepping in and letting go of the shoulds. You don't have to do anything except be happy and follow your heart. Now, there are things that need to be put in place, and there's strategies that can be put in place so that you're not, you know, starving yourself in the process, and that you're not going through like feast and famines, and so that it's a smooth journey. And even then, you're still going to encounter challenges, because that's how we grow, and that's how we learn, and that's how we flow, and that's how we expand, and that's how we become the people that are great. When you look at the people that you admired in your life, like really study them. Like a big person for me, and as a lot of you know, is Oprah. And she had so many challenges to finally be where she has been able to be, like arrive. So it's not like all these people that have reached high levels have not encountered challenges, but they have learned to make the challenges their friends. And they have learned to learn from their challenges and to see them as blessings as much as the good times are. Now that's a mindset that I want to have 24/7. So when I'm seeing a challenge, I'm seeing it as a signal that I'm on the right path. That I'm seeing a challenge, but that I know that I can circumvent it, and that I know that I can go through it, and that I know that I can conquer it, because the power within me is greater than any challenge in front of me. Because I am fully connected to my purpose, and I'm fully connected to my higher self, and I'm fully connected to spirit. And as long as I am applying all the universal laws that I know, then you know you're going to move forward from there. In the Manifesting Powerhouses group, there's a training on Florence's The Game of Life and how to play it. It's the best thing out there. The PDF is still up if you look on the file section of the group. It's amazing. Like, if you don't have access to it, you can go in there and you can access the PDF and you can read it. I read it all the time because it reminds me of where I need to be mentally and where I need to be energetically to continue manifesting these miracles in my life. I am so freaking grateful for like the life that I have right now. And I know I'm only like at the tip of the iceberg. Like, things are like moving so quickly for me. And it has been fully intentional. None of this has been by accident. The universe definitely comes in and helps, but it's because I'm holding the intent. So when you go out there and you're like creating a life for you, please know that it's the same rules, that I'm just applying what the elders have been applying forever, and I'm no different from you, and that if I can do it, you can do it too. Sometimes we just need a little help along the way to clear the baggage and clear the noise and clear the energy and get us to focus on what we really want to focus on and get us to really tap into our power and tap into our truth, and then create a plan from that to what's going to make you the happiest, the most satisfied, what's going to employ all your gifts in the best way possible. So if you haven't read this, It's really inspiring. It's like my favorite book. Well, one of my favorite books. It's definitely on like the top 3. And just go out there. Know that you are so loved, so guided, and so protected. The universe totally has your back. You just have to believe in yourself a little bit more and let the universe do the rest. Okay? Love and blessings. Talk to you all so very soon. 3 p.m. meditations tomorrow. If you're not in the group, get in the group. We're going to post the dialing information tomorrow morning so that you have access to that 3 p.m. meditation tomorrow. Life meditations, healing meditations. It's just to get you more aligned into your truth. Okay? Talk to you soon. Ciao for now.